What's up, FGTV? My name is Devin Bowers, aka Flashbarricade, and I'm joined with Dukestarfighter, Jonathan Rentas, my
What
number
is
one
going
dude.
on?
And we're here for another Radiocast. So welcome, everybody. We're having a couple of beers, having a good time, enjoying life, and as much as we can with the current status of the world. But for those of you who haven't been to FGTV before, we're all about video games and working out, and that's the jam, man. We're in the gym and we're playing video games. Gyms and joysticks, it's a thing.
Gyms. What was the? Do you remember what we called it? Wasn't it
I
like
don't. It was like drop sets and
drop sets and
something.
joysticks or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah,
We
man.
had a good name, man. We had a good name.
It was so funny, like looking back with FGTV. I don't even remember how we actually landed on that on actual Flex GTV, but I remember us just going to town trying to think up names.
Yeah,
and, dude, we were cracking ourselves up.
we were just brainstorming. We were playing games, playing with the usual guys, and we were just talking about it. We were just kind of shooting the shit and just saying, like we came up with the drop sets and joysticks and controllers and barbells or something along those lines. We were trying to rhyme stuff together and put those things together. And I think you kind of came to me with the Flex G TV because you wanted to go for like a radio FM style type of a thing, and that's kind of like where like FG radio or FG TV radio and all that. Yeah. FGFM, that's what it was. FGFM, and I really like that. I like that. Yeah. That's kind of like one of our channels that people can tune in and check it out. And now that we got the video thing working, they can see our pretty faces.
Yeah, and here we are. This is FGFM. We're here on the Radiocast. We're basically the disc jockeys of the internet right now. And going off of the heels of our last video, we kind of did like a recap and getting people motivated again to kind of get back into the gym setting. Even though there's some states that are still closed and some states that are opening, we really wanted to get people reconnected with that motivation and stuff like that. But now that we're here, go ahead, John. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, like right now, I mean, everybody's just having a tough time. Like I see people posting about it on their Facebook and on their Instagram, on Twitter. Can't go to the gym, so they're finding all these different alternatives. And for some people, it's tough. Like it's tough to transition from being in the gym to staying motivated, going home. And I've seen people kind of post, hey, this was my body while I was going to the gym, and this is how my body's been adjusting to the at-home workouts. And I know it's been pretty tough for people.
Yeah, pre and post, but we're just trying to keep people going, keeping people in the gym, keep people moving. If your gyms aren't open, home workouts and things like that are a must. Just doing something, getting up, moving around, walking around the block, kind of a thing. Yeah. And so coming off the heels of that last video, we really wanted to start diving into the nitty-gritty and get people moving. For those of you who haven't started getting into the gym environment, we wanted to start getting people the know-hows and the how-tos of getting into the gym, what to look for when you're shopping.
Not everybody knows what it's about.
No, they don't.
Knows what they do going in, and they're too afraid to ask because they don't want to look silly. They don't want to look stupid. I get that. I was the same way. I didn't necessarily have all the know-hows when I got started, and I would just like watch people. I would watch people and try to like replicate what they were doing, but sometimes you can get yourself hurt like that.
Sure. I mean, form is a big deal, and it took, it takes a long time to really learn these things. It took me a long time to learn about form and, what terms were the right terms for what I'm using and what I'm looking for and things like that. And it really was just, I mentioned in I think it was our first Radiocast that we did, I mentioned, that I got started with P90X, and then that kind of was like a little leaping point for me. And then it became like, okay, like, well, 24-hour, fitness is technically like the next alternative, or some sort of Globo gym. And you know what I mean? And so it was leaping into something like that and like, okay, well, why don't I start and, take P90X into the gym, and then we'll see where we go from there.
That's exactly what I did. Like back in like 2000, it was like 2010, I was living with my folks. I had just moved away from Southern California. And my dad was doing P90X.
Yeah.
And I'd hear like he had like those interchangeable weights where you click into it and it would either subtract or add
Right.
weights to the barbell or to the dumbbell. And I would hear him do it, and I was interested, so I checked it out. I asked him if I could, do a DVD or whatever. And I was really surprised, man. I was really surprised at like how effective it was. My sister's got some picture of me flexing like an idiot. I thought I was hot shit. But I mean, at the same time, for me, exercise was all in basketball. I used to play basketball, or I still play basketball so much, or as often as I can. If I have a night off, if the gyms were open, I'd be playing basketball.
Right.
I love basketball. I love playing, but obviously that's weightlifting and cardio and playing basketball. It's all kind of become my thing. So
yeah.
But yeah, P90X is where I started too, and then I started kind of like replicating those movements at a local gym in Yuba City. It was NS Northside Fitness, I think it used to be called. I think it's called NS Fit now, but yeah, man, that's how I got started.
It's really getting into, like I said, there was the bridge where I was doing home workouts and I just felt like I was ready for more. So I was like, okay, well, it's time for me to start shopping around for a gym. And then it was like stepping out into that open road of like, oh my God, there's so many options. And so we wanted to kind of go over some of those things where you have and what you're looking for. So the thing is with any gym setting and anything that you're trying to get into, it all matters what your goal is. So where you want to, what kind of health benefits you're looking for, what kind of body you're looking for, what kind of workouts that you're hoping to achieve, because not all gyms cater to the same workouts. You have
but if you're into running, you're not going to spend all your time in a gym. Some people don't even go to a gym to do running. They do everything on the road.
Yeah, on the road, outside. Some people,
yeah.
They'll go to like their local high school and run the stadiums and stuff like that.
That
too. There's a plethora. Everyone can do anything anywhere. It's just a matter of what your goals are. And so for most people, they go to their Globo gyms, and the term Globo gym is essentially something that's corporate, right? It's something that is a franchise that you'll find in any city, any state, all over the place.
Right.
Big gyms, little gyms, things like that. Something like a 24-hour fitness or Planet Fitness would be a Globo gym. They're considered franchises. And then you have something, that's like your local gym. So you have, Joe's, garage gym and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
These little, kind of exclusive, sometimes people will build these gyms and they'll only take like 200 memberships and that's it. And so you can either yeah, exactly. And either you'll get put on a waiting list, stuff like that, but they're private. They're like VIP gyms.
I really enjoy those ones that are kind of like built in the back of a warehouse. You know what I mean? Like they have like some big ass shutter that they got to pull down, and you open that up, and it's just like this big space. Yeah, just this big old space, nothing to it. Maybe like a small office in the corner. Those are kind of cool to me because it's very.
Oh, they're fantastic.
There's just something very primal about it,
Gritty.
Whereas like those, something gritty about it, because you go to those like your LA Fitness or 24-hour Fitness, and everything there's a theme, there's a way that everything has to be displayed,
right?
Color
but then
schemes. Again, color schemes, but these other ones have like custom art on the walls. They hire some kid or some gal to come in, do the art on the walls. They'll put like The Rock up there, they'll put Mike Tyson up there, they'll put all these sports figures and athletes, and even the current generation of CrossFit champions or CrossFit this, bodybuilding this, bodybuilding that, for inspiration and stuff like that. So, well, I do enjoy that.
Like you said with CrossFit, that's another one too. It's box gyms. They're called box gyms. Is basically you'll find them around. Box gyms are really well known for Olympic lifting or for powerlifting or for CrossFit. Mostly, any box gym you come across is more than likely a CrossFit gym. So that's one thing to look for if that's your option. If you're looking to be a bodybuilder, you can do anything in a Globo gym.
Right.
A box gym is not going to have much for a bodybuilder. They're not. You have, being a bodybuilder, you have a lot of of your standard movements, but then you have what they call accessory workouts, where you're accessorizing with different types of muscle groups and things like that.
Right.
So you can get a lot of those accessorizing things. I don't even know if that's a word. Accessorizing? Is that a word?
I'm pretty sure it's not. No.
Oh, it's okay.
Just don't do it.
I'm going to accessorize that word with some additional letters.
You stop it.
But in any case, Global Gym is really where you're looking to head if you are a bodybuilder. If you're a power lifter, you can generally get away with a Globo Gym. The only problem is you get a lot of looks. You get a lot of people that aren't used to powerlifting yet. They're not used to people doing CrossFit.
Sure, yeah.
Perfect example, I brought M to one of my gyms, the rec center, back when, about a year ago. And she was doing some of her Olympic lifting in there. And eventually, some of the staff actually came and told her that she needed to cool it.
Wait, they asked her to relax?
Oh, they did. Yeah, they have a lifting platform, which is, it's what they're meant for. But the fact of the matter is it was just for show. Essentially, it was kind of silly.
So they had the proper equipment for what she was doing, but when she started doing it, she got asked to stop doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of those things, and I've heard conversation pieces like this before about lifting a certain way, and a lot of the if I'm thinking about the correct exercises here, you got to drop that weight. You got to let that shit go, because you attempting to ease it down could potentially hurt you in some cases.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is crazy.
Especially when you're, front loading 270 fucking pounds, it's like.
She's a beast. She's something else, I tell you that.
Yeah. Thankfully, the staff was extremely nice about it. They were like, we understand it's a lifting platform, it's just, with our type of clientele. So you really do have to be picky and choosy for the things that you're looking for. A box gym is going to be more catering to powerlifting and Olympic lifting and the people that are throwing up really heavy weight, but they're not going to be catering to bodybuilding. They're not going to have cables. They're not going to have any of that type of stuff. And so for a bodybuilder, a Global Gym is what you're looking for. If you're looking for your average Joe to, you're more so looking to take care of your body and your health, a Global Gym is what you're looking for.
But let's talk about, because right now in the current climate, a lot of people don't go to the gym. Gyms are closed. So, you have a lot of people who had to transition into the working out at home and for some people it's actually worked out pretty well. Working out from home, doing body weight exercises, they find resistance bands and do stuff like that. So that kind of begs the question, does a gym work for those people, or does the at-home stuff work best for them, or does something outside of the gym work best?
I think that the answer to that, honestly, is just the simple fact of your goals. The goal is simple. If you feel like an at-home workout is doing enough, and you feel like maybe a 30-minute workout to 45 minutes, which is generally what a home workout will be, because unless you have invested the money in a home gym, you're not going to be getting a lot of worth. You're going to be keeping up with motion. You're going to be keeping up with flexibility and mobility, and things like that at home. And you're going to get blood flowing to your muscles, but you're not going to be reaching hypertrophy. You're not going to be tearing down muscle to create a physique, so to speak. You're gonna have a physique, but you're not going to be building muscle. So you're
gonna build strength. You're definitely gonna build strength, especially like that body weight strength. You're definitely gonna have a lot of tone to the look of your body. Sculpting wise, probably not so much, because you're not doing the resistance weight training that's required in order to get those deep cuts and things like that. But I always thought that the diet also helped with that too. If you're eating a very strict diet, you're cutting out those fats, you're doing water depletion, whatever it is. That's how those guys and those gals, that's how they get the six packs and the cuts on the side. I mean, it's a remarkable thing. It's just a lot of discipline.
One thing, it's extreme discipline, but one thing I have noticed too is that every body is literally different. The way that people react to workouts, the way people react to their eating habits and their food and stuff like that.
Sure,
Everything
yeah.
reacts differently. So really the leaping point for anyone looking to get into the gym, especially gamers, we're reaching out to you guys, for the people that don't know where to start. And for those of you who have been interested in kind of following along with FGTV, we're reaching out to you guys to get you to that leaping point of, okay, if your gyms are opening and you're looking at changing your life around, or any aspect, you're a gamer and you love working out,
Right.
and you're a gamer, and we we always mention that's where we want to fuse people together and bring that community together. So the leaping point is really where your goals lie, where you want to see your
Right.
body, what kind of body you want to have, how you want your body to function. Are you just going to be,
Sure.
I get called it all the time, if you want to just be a meathead and like blow up and stuff like that and just be like reliant on, purely on supplements, then that's your goal. If you
Right,
want to go in
exactly.
and be healthy and do these things, then, these are the types of avenues you can take. Globo gym, box gym, home workouts. You have rec centers. Rec centers will generally be kind of the middle ground with like a Globo gym and stuff like that. You're not going to be
Sure.
throwing around really heavy weight. They're going to have minimal gear. So you're going to have some sort of, you'll have press machines and things like that, but more than
Right.
likely the thing with a rec center is they're catering more towards senior citizens. So the thing is it's a lot of the equipment that you're going to find at a rec center is going to be more like resistance training, more cable machines. It's not going to be loading up 800 pounds and doing all this kind of workouts.
Right.
They're individualized. So you have your rec centers. You have your athletic departments. If you're a college student, you have your athletic department. Usually athletic departments are really good. They're pretty well taken care of. You don't really have to do much. You just go in and load the weight. You just have to worry about dealing with other college kids.
That's very true. And those guys, I mean, when in all honesty, like they're there to continue doing what they love to do, or to get that scholar, or obviously they already have a scholarship to that school, or they're working towards a scholarship. But yeah, that can be tough. Sometimes that could even also be like not a distraction, but you're looking at these kids. They still, they're still young, they're still spry, right? They got,
Well, you
they got that
usually
little
have
quick
everyone in
step or
there
whatever.
too. You have everyone in there too. You got your football players in there working
Mm-hmm.
out and everything like that. And so it's a mixed bag of people. And
It really
generally
is.
for a leaping point, it's a good spot if that's all that you have and you don't really have any money and you want to be able just to hop into a gym. That's probably your best bet because it's usually all inclusive when you go to a university. But the thing
Yeah.
is as a leaping point for somebody who may be self-conscious about themselves, I probably wouldn't recommend going to an athletic department.
No.
Finding a gym, if a gym is worth it to you, is number one. Now, granted, the climate right now is kind of different. Gyms for me in my state are open. Gyms for John in his state are not available right
They're
now.
not. They suck.
So you're going to have to change up those things. But climate aside, it's really about the goal is the number one thing. And if a gym is going to work
Sure.
for you. But like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, it's really about John and I started with P90X. Is that all that's going to work for you? Then that's fine. You can
Sure.
keep
Yeah.
going with that and stuff like that. But I know
It
for me,
works.
my personal goals, I needed more weight. I knew I needed more weight. I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see yet. And you have to set those little goals. I mentioned it in the first radio cast where I wanted to fill out a medium-sized shirt, and then those aspirations and goals grew as I did, and so then, here we are now.
And now you fit into mediums, so.
Yeah, I fit into medium. It's about the same
So
size shirt that John's wearing there. It's
yes, it
really
is.
tiny.
Yes, it is. I like it. It keeps me fresh when I'm feeling fat.
Oh God, gonna have to tuck it
So
in, buddy.
all the time. Uh, so once you get to the gym, right? You're there. You're brand new to it, and obviously, some places will do this where they'll have like a big ass poster like on the wall about gym rules, and certain things to abide by, etiquette. if you will. And I know we've had plenty of conversations about, you know, I actually remember when you started working out and you started really getting into it, you'd be like, John, like you would text me in the middle of your workout, like this fucking guy, you know, sitting on his, you know, on the bench, you know, sitting there for like 3.5 minutes, just texting away or doing whatever away. And I
Oh,
was
I
like, yeah,
got I
man,
got some really good pictures. I have really good
yeah, you
pictures.
used to send them to me all the time. And I used
Yeah.
to crack up because, I mean, here's the thing, when it's like anything else, you know, you go to a public setting and you're going to have a couple of asshats in the crowd, you know.
Yeah.
And when it comes to working out at the gym, I mean, everybody takes the gym, the mentality a little differently. It's no different than like playing a sport, and then you obviously, like, your elite athletes have like this killer mentality, you know. The Michael Jordans of basketball, the Kobe Bryants of basketball had like that killer mentality when it came to playing the game. Like on the court, it was business. It was absolute business. So when it comes to going to the gym and working out, that's how some people treat it. They go in there, they're focused, they have their music on, they took their pre-workout, or they're just amped to they're just ready to get in there and just knock some fucking blocks off. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
go through a wall.
bottom line for me, the gym has become my church, and for a lot of people,
Sure.
it's church. That's the place where I worship, and I worship. You know, it sounds silly, but I worship myself in that moment. You know, it's an opportunity for me to be in tune with my body, my mind. You know, all of me, and you know, it's you have this grand opportunity. Some people find it in different areas of life, whether it's reading a book or playing video games. You know, sometimes video games can be a little disconnecting for some people.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
be associated with that. But the gym is the one time you have an opportunity, any form of exercise, you have the opportunity to reconnect with yourself on a completely different level. You're putting the technology away, you're focusing on yourself, you're disciplining yourself into a moment where you can focus solely on your being. For some people, it's yoga. It's a very spiritual experience. You know, for people in the gym can be it gets pushing blood and pushing weight around in the gym is like a super spiritual Zen moment for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It becomes this like next level. But yeah, you know, snowballing off of what you said, gym etiquette, you know, yeah, you'll see the poster of the rules in the gym. The rules are like your guidelines. That's just like your basic, you know, hey, don't put your gym bag in the middle of the floor. Don't, you know, make sure you wipe down things. But what we're
More
going to
like
go
guidelines
over,
than rules.
yeah, we're going to go over the sweetness, like literally the things that you need to know to be the best you can possibly be in the gym that pisses everyone off.
Starting with number one. Re-rack your fucking weights.
Yeah.
Re-rack your weights, bro. Like, I mean, you know, here's the thing too. You know, I get like if you're like, you're doing like these 3 different things and whatnot. But one of my biggest pet peeves, and I see it. I mean, I just see it all the time, is when people don't take their dumbbells back. Like, I love when I go to the dumbbell rack, and you know, you got the big bruiser-looking dude who forgot to take his 150-pound weight back to the rack, which is, you know, most of the times if it's that fucking large, it's sitting underneath the bench or it's sitting underneath the weight rack.
Right.
But who the fuck is going to lift a 150-pound dumbbell besides that guy?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
So re-rack your weights.
It's all about it. And what we mean by re-racking your weights, if you're throwing weights onto a barbell, you put them back. If you pick it up, you put it away. It's just a common courtesy. It's a respect to the gym, you know, if to the gym's sake. You know, you're not going to throw trash on your church floor. You're not going to throw trash, you know, on the floor of your bedroom or your home, your sacred space, whatever it is. The gym is the same exact way. You're not going to leave your weights on the floor unless you're mid-set. You're not going to,
of course.
If you throw the weights on, you put them back. It's common courtesy. It's what you do. You don't know who else has been waiting for those weights. You don't know who's around you that's been waiting for the 20 pounds or the 30 pounds plus. And generally, for somebody starting out, that 15 to like 35, 40 pound range
Yeah.
is highly coveted. Everybody uses them. That's like,
Yeah.
and there's only usually like two sets of them, you know? So
Yeah.
most gyms don't carry a lot of weights. And the thing is it's really just about respect. Number one, respect the fucking gym. Respect
Yeah.
yourself in the gym.
That's a big number one. Absolutely.
The big number one, respect your gym.
Right.
The big number two is respect yourself and those around you in the gym.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
very important. And kind of, you know, speeding off of respect yourself in the gym, you know, I have it lower on the list, you know, but I didn't number these
Right.
things. But for me, the biggest killer is your cell phone. Put your goddamn phone away when you're in the gym. You have an
Absolutely.
opportunity to make a playlist or have a playlist. Put the playlist on when you're in the gym. You have nothing else you need to do. The only time, there's one time you have an opportunity to look at your phone when you're in the gym, and that's if you're looking at your workout. If you are not the type of person that is going to be writing your workout down, most people will have their workout on their phone. They'll go to Men's Health. They'll go to Men's Health, or they'll go to bodybuilding.com. They'll go
bodybuilding.com,
to their individualized resources to find their workouts, how many sets, how many reps, and do their thing. That is the only time it is legal to take your phone out. The only time. Or you're changing your song. But most people have a little button on their headphone that allows them to change their music without having to pull out their phone. So that is really a big thing, is manage the technology. And it's not just phones. Like I said before, you have an opportunity to put everything away and listen to your body and listen to yourself. And one of those things is the phone. The second thing, and it really pisses me off that it exists in gyms. I really hate when gyms have televisions. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Oh, gotcha.
There is no reason.
Hey, I'm not going to totally agree with that, because, you know, when you're running,
no.
Yeah, when you're running, if you're on the treadmill,
if it's in a cardio room, it's one thing.
You're talking about like in the weight rooms and stuff like that?
In the weight room. When you're in the weight room and there's distractions there, I'll never forget. And it doesn't matter. I don't care. I know you love basketball and most people love sports. I don't care if there's an important game on. You chose to go to the gym midway through a game. And I've seen it before. I went to a 24-hour fitness. I was working out. I wish that I still had the photo to show you people. I took a picture. There's literally 32 people in this photo. Not a single person is lifting a weight. There's weight down at their feet. There's people like holding a bar, but it's down at their waist. Every single person is transfixed on the television because there was a big basketball game on that night.
Sure, yeah.
I think the Lakers were playing, and so it's LA, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But if this is the thing, if you have to do that, go home. Go home. Go home. The reason why is because you'll see these people that will come to the gym. They'll sit on the gym on a bench and they'll text, or they'll sit there and they'll watch TV, or they'll sit there and read a book. Or I do have a photo of a guy who sat there and read a newspaper. They will do this.
Hey, current events are important to building muscle.
This is a current event. In any case, these people will have the opportunity to sit in the gym for X amount of time, either staring at their phones or whatever it is they're doing, or a television, and then suddenly they have the right to go home and say they went to the gym. You didn't. You showed up to the gym, but you didn't do anything. You didn't do a goddamn thing at the gym. That for me is a big deal. If you're gonna just stand there and watch TV, go home. You know, if you're gonna have a conversation on your phone, gym etiquette. If you're gonna pick up your phone, if it's important, walk off of the floor. You know, it's very simple. Just get out.
Create the opportunity for somebody else to get in on the machine or get in that space
that are waiting in line. Forward. You know, you don't know who's around you that's been waiting for that bench or that machine or whatever. Don't stand there on your phone and talk. Don't talk with other people around you unless it's directly influenced with the workout. That's kind of a big deal. Take it off the floor. It's respectful. go step outside to take your phone call, come back and pick up where you left off. You know,
Right.
you don't shit on the middle of the floor. You go to the bathroom. It's just it's what it is.
Speaking of disgusting habits, that does bring us to another good thing about, or another good etiquette rule, or just another good rule of etiquette, I should say, and that's wiping up after yourself.
Yeah.
You're in the gym, you're working out hard, you're running, you're lifting weights, doing whatever it is that you got to do. You're gonna sweat. Some of you sweat profusely. It's disgusting. No, I'm just kidding. I sweat all the time. But you know, the important thing is that you grab a couple of paper towels, or take a towel with you. If you got a towel, take the towel with you. Wipe down your workout area. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but you know, it's just one of those courtesy things, because you know, you never know how the next person feels about getting onto your bench and you got like your ass sweat at the bottom there, or your head sweat
and
at the
smells.
yeah, because you're not used to the smell, right? You know, like you're used to yourself, you're used to maybe your significant other, but when it's like a complete stranger that you have no fucking idea who they are or where they've been and all that, it's a very
unpleasant environment.
It's an unpleasant and discomforting thing to like walk to an area that you need to use, only to find somebody else's stuff around.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, definitely.
Especially, I think more than anything too, like, you know, going back to what you said about the current climate, you know, it's like,
oh yeah,
everyone is sanitizing the shit out of everything, and so it is
Yeah.
kind of a big deal now. But more than anything, it goes back to, like I said, the things we're talking about right now are etiquettes in the gym, and so it's a respect thing. Respect your neighbor, respect the person that's going to use these things after you.
Sure.
You know, and it generates good habits for you outside of the gym, you know.
Absolutely.
More often than not.
Like washing your hands after you shake it.
Yeah.
You should do it. Can't tell you how many times. You know, at my job, you know, I'm using the stall, or you know, whatever, and then I hear somebody using the urinal, and you hear the toilet flush, or
And they walk
the urinal
right out.
flush, and then you just hear the door open. I'm like, you nasty motherfucker! How you gonna walk out of here, you know, shaking your cock, and then not like, you know, wash your hands afterwards? You know, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Yes.
If
you
quick,
feel offended
you know,
by what I said, I'm directing it towards you. Wash your fucking hands.
Do a quick little helicopter and tuck it away.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. Just get your piss all over your fucking shirt, your shorts, and your hands. That's fucking fantastic.
Hey, at least we
Disgusting.
know you did it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. This is
case,
not the thing that we need to be telling people.
Hey, you decided to go into it.
I'm just saying, it's just like anything else. You build a good habit. You wash your hands, you clean up after yourself, you sanitize, especially in today's climate. You make sure that you're not making the other person feel like you're disgusting.
Yeah. Tip the ash off the cigarette, wash your hands, and get out of the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, one of the other, getting back out onto the gym floor, it's kind of a big deal for people that are learning, especially if they're, you know, we mentioned form earlier, you know, doing proper form and things like that in the gym. And one of the biggest things that gets looked over a lot that allows for perfect form is the mirrors in the gym. It's not just there for you to take an Instagram photo. It's not just there for you to take a selfie. The mirrors are an important thing when you are working out. It's to make sure that you're lifting properly. It's to make sure that you're staying balanced with what you're doing. And things like that. And one of the biggest etiquettes is, if you are taking up mirror space, don't intrude on other people's mirror space who are working out within the vicinity of you. You don't go, if there's someone on a bench in front of a mirror, they might be using that for, you know, a shoulder press or something like that, and they're monitoring how they're working out. Don't go and stand in front of them. It's a thing. Mirror space in the gym is a big deal, you know, unless you're walking in front of somebody to re-rack your weights, which you should be doing in the first place anyway. Just don't do it. There's no reason to stand in front of somebody that's working out and have a conversation. I've seen it done before.
And I can appreciate, you know, if somebody feels really good about, they just killed a set, and it's not about the form,
Right.
at that point, it's about, you got that pump, your chest is exploding, your arms are blasting, your legs are popping, like, get a good look at yourself, appreciate the work that you just put into yourself, and then move on. Get ready for the
Yeah.
next set. Get ready for the next exercise. The
Well,
mirror's not
and
going to go anywhere. It'll be
that's
there
what
when you're
like
done.
there's mirrors in the locker room more often than
Right.
not. And you know, like I said with the phones, if you're gonna answer a phone call, walk off of the floor. If you're gonna
Sure.
decidingly take a selfie or take a picture of yourself in the mirror, walk off the floor. Common courtesy. You're taking up precious space for
But here's
people.
the thing, Dev. Sometimes the best mirror in the house
I
is
literally
the one
see
you're
this.
working
I
out in front
see
of.
this little grin on your face, and I knew you were coming up with something.
I'm
The
just
wheels were
saying,
turning.
like, you're working out in front of the mirror, you got that pump. You can't work out inside of the locker rooms.
You literally think that the pump is going to go away by the time you walk off of that floor to the
Bro,
bathroom.
it's that fast. It's like a balloon. You're letting out.
You're a balloon.
Yeah, but that is a good point.
This ain't Chuck E. Cheese. This is the gym.
Hey, don't shit on Chuck E. Cheese. They still make good pizza, bro.
I can't wait till we get to the Radiocast where we go over nutrition, man.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a good one.
that's gonna be my favorite one.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. What's
Oh,
next on the
man.
list? What else do we got?
So one of the big things is obviously if you're looking for a bench or you're looking for weights and things like that, and you don't always have the opportunity to grab the set that's available, you're generally going to be necessarily in line, so to speak. You're going to be waiting
Yeah.
for a bench, or you're going to be waiting for a weight rack or a machine. And the biggest thing, if somebody is using that machine, don't ever interrupt somebody's set. It's a very big thing. It's a big deal. Somebody is pushing weight and they're focused. They're in their own zone. They're doing their own thing. They got the right song on. Don't interrupt their set. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later when we get into gym terms, and I'll tell you what a set means. But all in all, you can generally tell when a person is in mid-set and when they're done with the set. When they bring the weight back down and they're standing there with their arms on their hips, taking a breather, now is the opportunity for you to step in and say, hey,
Right.
how many more sets do you have? How many more reps do you have? Tap them on the shoulder, they take their headphones out and things like that. But there is nothing more
Get in their field of
frustrating.
view. Make eye contact. Just be like, that's what I do. I just like, hey.
You done? Actually, if somebody is sitting on their phone and they're consuming a bench, more often than not, I'll just be an asshole and I'll ask them how many sets they have for them to kind of get the picture and move it along,
There you go.
because they're not following gym etiquette. But
Sure.
never interrupt a set. It takes a lot for people to get into their zone, and some days they have to just be perfect for that person to be working out, and then somebody comes along and interrupts that perfection. So
Well, that kind of leads into another good point. Is you got those people that kind of want to say something, but they don't. But they know they have to like wait, and it might be like when that guy just started his set.
Yeah.
And they just kind of stay there, and they hover.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So don't hover. Don't hover over the person. So there's two opportunities that you have not to hover. The first one is if you're waiting to ask the person if they're done with your set. Be casual, be cool, just hang out in the background. Don't go stand next to this person and wait for them to be done. And then the second time is generally after you've asked somebody how many reps and how many sets they have, that person will just stand there with their arms folded, or they'll stand there on their phone, and they'll literally wait for the machine, or they'll wait for the rack or the bench. It's a distraction. You're distracting the person from doing what they need to do because you're rushing them. You're literally standing there and you're physically rushing them by being
rushing them, exactly,
in their vicinity. So don't do it. Don't hover. If more than anything,
almost a creepy thing too.
Exactly. And one of the biggest things that I've grown accustomed to, if I have to wait for something, once you start getting used to movements and different types of workouts, you'll find other means to grow outside of, I need that one bench. I need that one machine. you'll be able to kind of move around the gym and say, I can actually use this for this, or I can use this for this.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity if you find if somebody just started a set or they're not going to be done in an ample time for you to move on to your next workout and you're going to kind of like fizzle out, find a different machine or find something else that you can do something similar on, or switch around your workout. You know, your next workout was supposed to be a bench press, and right after bench press is cable flies. Go do the cable flies first, come back and do your bench press. You know, like seize the opportunity to take advantage of the gym rather than it just be a missed opportunity.
Well, you know, you could always plan ahead too. Like I think something that helped me out quite a bit, especially you know, a little early on in my youth. I miss those days. But something that I used to always think about, I was like, okay, if I can't do this, then I'll just do something else, right?
Right.
So I would actually have like, you know, stuff written down, or in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit this, and this, right? You get to work out 5, and you're getting tired. You've been there for about 40 minutes or whatever it is. You get to work out 5, and the machine that you need isn't available, and the guy just walked up on it, you know, and maybe you're not comfortable with working in, right? And you know, it's one of those gym terms, working in. You know, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but you don't want to work in, so you have a backup workout already written down or in your head. Sure, it may not be the workout that you prefer or desire at that moment, and it does throw your groove off a little bit, but then once you start working on it anyway, I always found like, okay, I'm still hitting my stride, I'm still targeting that area when it comes to working out. So yeah, have a backup workout that's going to hit the same target. Don't hover, and keep moving on, keep moving forward.
Yeah. So just as a recap, re-rack your weights, put your phone away. Unless you're in the cardio room, keep your eyes off the television. For most people's sake, because more often than not, you get wrapped up in those things. Sure. Make sure to wipe down your area after you use it. Be mindful of your mirror space. Don't ever interrupt somebody's set, and don't hover when you do. Those are kind of our main etiquette points, you know. And honestly, I think to wrap all that up, the biggest thing is hygiene. You know, I used to work out with a guy that, man, it was probably like 2 weeks that guy never washed his pants.
Ugh.
Yeah, man.
That's bad, man.
Yeah, and especially when you're sharing a bench and stuff like that, it's just you're sitting in the stench, you know, and it's just like mind your hygiene. You mind your hygiene. Do, you know, God damn, put on some deodorant or something.
Put on some deodorant, you know, and you know what's helped me too is, you know, we get off work, we head straight to the gym. You're carrying the whole day with you, right? Even if you were sitting on your ass the whole day, like some part of you was closed off to oxygen. That space is inevitably going to smell. Inevitably. So you could always, you know, take a change of clothes with you, head to the gym, jump in the shower, just rinse off, get all the grime and all the, you know, the heat off your body, if you will. Put your gym clothes on, you feel refreshed, you feel renewed. Even take a pre-workout right before you shower. Yeah. Get that tingling feeling on your face and in your fingers and on, you know, and then the water hitting you right. When it start a fire. Yeah, you're like,
you hear a mist.
Sure. Oh, and speaking of, you know, hitting the showers, because this happens to me before. If you're gonna be showering, make sure to close your curtains. Don't leave your curtains open, because nobody wants to see you looking back at them, making eye contact with a bar of soap halfway up your ass.
Hey, I will say at least they're showering. I'll say that.
Yeah, I give them that.
You know,
they come shake your hand later, like, hey man, what you doing after work?
Yeah. Give them a little give them a high five, a little Top Gun high five on the way out.
Top Gun, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. We don't really have a list. I think we're gonna freeball it, but when it comes to gym terms, I think we'll start with
the big ones.
We'll start with what you mentioned first. I think that was a good leaping
point.
Oh,
working in?
Yeah, I think working.
Yeah, so working in, you know, if you hear that term, you're gonna hear somebody ask you, "Hey, do you mind if I work in?" Basically, that person is asking you if it's okay that they do the same workout that you're doing in between the times that you're not lifting the weights. So you go and you do a bench. You're hitting 215 or whatever weight you're comfortable with, and the guy or I don't know why I said 215. I meant to say
It doesn't matter.
225. Doesn't matter. And the guy that's approaching you, or the gal, there's some strong gals out there, they see the weight that you're doing. They know they can do that weight. It's just as challenging for them as it is for you, or whatever the case is. They want to work in. Basically, they want to do the workout with you. It's totally cool if you say no. That's people should be accepting of that. If they give you shit about it, then that's bad on them. They shouldn't be doing that. But if you're totally cool with it, wipe your area down real quick after you're done. Let the person do their set, and they'll sometimes pick up right after you leave, or whatever the case is. But yeah, working in.
I guess in a way that could also, like, there's a portion of that can kind of fall under the gym etiquette category. Whereas if you're going to work in with somebody, don't do this dramatic shift in weight that's going to tie up the whole process. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's doing 225, 315 bench press, which is, throwing on 3 plates on either side, don't go down to a 25, take everything off that this guy just did, and then throw just these little weights on,
that's at
only
least,
for him.
30 seconds, not just even 30 seconds. It could take anywhere between like a minute to 2 minutes. And for some of the people who are more strict on their workout and the amount of time that they rest, that could honestly just throw off their whole.
And it falls into that category of interrupting somebody's groove. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
If you're tapping somebody on the shoulder, asking them to work out, work in, you're invading technically on their space, on their time with that machine, so that you guys can go back and forth and people can get their thing done.
Absolutely.
Respect the other person who was there first, whoever was there first. That they have rule. They have rule over that.
Yeah, they have rule over
that space. So what other term? Sets and reps, I think, is the biggest one. Sets and reps, we go over it all the time with our challenge cards, and we talk about it frequently. It's just like the staple when it comes to weightlifting.
Yeah,
you have your sets and you have your reps. So your reps are the amount of repetitions that you are doing these workouts. So if I'm doing bicep curls for 10 reps, I'm doing 10 on each arm. Those are my repetitions. Now, my set is how many times I'm doing those repetitions. So if it's 3 sets of 10, then what that accounts to is I'm doing 3 sets. I'm doing 10 on each arm. I'm probably taking a rest period in between.
Right.
That's set number 1. And then we go into set 2, set 3.
Do another 10. Do another 10. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So that's really the big thing. And I think a lot of people, when they see workouts, get confused when they see sets and reps. Sometimes you'll see a lot of people will look at bodybuilding workouts and they'll say 5 sets, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6 for your reps. And people are like, oh, okay, well, that's my 5 sets. My 5 sets are 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. That's my 5 sets. People will believe that one set is only 10 reps, and then one set is only 8, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
When that's like, bodybuilding is hardcore, guys. Like, bodybuilding is intense. It's very stamina based. Like, if you're doing 5 sets of what they're showing for reps, you're literally doing that entire thing, and that's one set. People don't realize that, and they don't get as much worth out of the workout as it was.
No, not at all.
5 sets, 15 reps 5 times, 12 reps 5 times, 10 reps 5 times. Like, you're going down that line, and it's going to be a workout. That's why most bodybuilders are in the gym for 2 to 3, almost 4 hours sometimes.
In all honesty, like that's the stuff that, like, I can't even fathom. I'm in there for like an hour and a half, and I'm beat.
I guess the next big one after sets and reps would be a superset. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, that one throws people off. People off a lot. I remember the first time I heard of a superset, I was thinking, oh, that must be like maybe I'm not too far from what it actually is, but I was thinking like that's your last set where you just go all out, a superset.
So like there's
But
different
what is
forms.
the actual
Well, so there's
definition?
different forms. You can have like a finisher where it's like you've done your entire workout, and then at the end of it, you have like, you go until failure kind of a moment.
Yeah.
And some people will attribute that to being a superset. Now, what a superset is it's generally after your set, you do something that would, it's almost like a combo, like a power up in a way, where you're doing, like let's say you're doing a bench press, for example. You're going to do your 5 sets and you're going to superset with cable flies.
Table flies, yeah.
So essentially you're doing your sets and then you're going to hit, a superset of 10 cable flies, and some people will superset after they do all 5, or some people will superset after each set. And that's their superset. You're supersetting the set. So essentially, if I'm doing a bench press for 10 reps on one set, I hit my 10 reps and then I hit 10 cable flies. That's my set. That you did your set and your superset. And you do that for the, if you're doing 5 sets, you're doing it for 5. Superset is kind of the biggest, I would say the next biggest term. Don't be afraid if you guys decide to take the leap and go into the gym, don't be afraid to test things out. Don't be afraid to look silly like you don't know what you're doing. Just get a feel for it. Get a feel for things. Get a feel for the weights, for the machines, barbells, dumbbells, whatever. We've given you some of the tools to look for a gym. We've given you some of the tools, especially when you're in the gym, the gym etiquette and things like that. What to do when it's when you're respecting yourself and your environment.
Sure.
Like I said, whenever you guys are ready to take the leap, we'll be here. I will say we're doing workout videos, so we're going to do as much as we can to point you guys in the right direction and show you guys workouts and things like that. 2 of the greatest resources for me growing up in fitness. If you're looking for workouts, simplyshredded.com was one of my favorites because it gave me an opportunity to look at different types of weightlifters. And then they had like an interview, and then at the bottom it showed their nutrition and it showed what they would work out, how their workouts looked throughout the week. So it gave me a leaping point in with different types of bodies that I wanted to look like. So I had an opportunity to kind of play around with those. The second resource is if you go to YouTube, if you look up instructional fitness, it's been one of the greatest resources. It gives me an opportunity. If I'm going to look up cable curls or cable flies or a bench press, these guys at instructional fitness really break it down. If you're looking for just like what does a dumbbell bench press look like, what does a barbell bench press look like, what does rope presses look like, you can type that into YouTube, instructional fitness rope press, and it'll bring up the video. It'll show you exactly the movement, the motion, what you're doing. And that for me was what built a foundation for me to be able to bring those things into the gym when I didn't know what I was doing. I would look at a workout and it would show things. If some of those things I didn't know what they were or what I was uncomfortable with, I can go and use that as a resource to get those things down, including the form. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We thank you guys so much for getting the opportunity to, even be here and have this platform to be able to speak and have you guys come in and listen and check out our videos.
Absolutely.
Having, it sounds silly, but having 42 subscribers on YouTube is pretty freaking cool, man. It's pretty damn cool.
There's 42 people out there that kind of dig what we do and are, waiting for us to kind of bring out the next thing for them to look forward to. Like you subscribe to something, you look forward to what that person or what that company is providing. And the fact that there's people out there that are kind of tuning in and supporting us in our venture just by subscribing, I mean, it's a really big deal. And, like, I'm sure like with humble beginnings, like we'll appreciate every single one. And hopefully it gets to that place where we can do this full time and really kind of live out that, that dream of being able to do what we love to do and be able to share that passion with everybody.
Yep. So with that being said, I'm Flashbarricade. and join with me is none other.
The one and only Dukestarfighter.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yeah, eggs and beer don't smell good.
Welcome to FGTV. This is the fourth Radiocast in our series. And, well, shit, I might have to redo that. Oh, you left.
Don't look at me like that. Don't